He might not be from Krypton, but he's heads above the rest. His knowledge can't be questioned. You can put it to the test. So if you want to hear the truth and have nowhere else to go, I'll give you the solution. Just tune into his show and just kneel before Zod. Kneel before Zod. Kneel before Zod. Kneel before Zod.
And welcome everybody back to the Phantom Zone. It is the most earth-breaking, ground-shaking, but never media show money-taking, the man, the myth, the legend, the most electrifying villain in all of YouTube entertainment today, Mr. Zod. And if you're new to the channel or if you happen to come upon this, welcome. Hi, all. We will be talking about Dexter New Blood, the final. And holy shit, I have not seen the internet so divided and in the ending of this. And after sitting back, watching some old episodes, talking with various people, watching various reviews and taking it all in, there seems to be a big divide. Now, I will say I do not believe that this is worse than season 8, and everybody who's saying that, stop it. Come on, let's be reasonable. Nothing is as bad. Literally, the season 8 final before Game of Thrones was considered the worst final season of television. I mean, that is a fact. It's been verified by various people. So I do think there is a lot of mistakes and missteps, and I'm going to talk about that with our panel. Unfortunately, one person that I was going to have as a guest, she couldn't make it, but her links are in the description. Go check out her channel, Chelsea Rath. She does amazing reviews and also talks about makeup, like doing makeup as she's doing a review, or how to do certain makeup that's done in different horror stuff. It's a very interesting channel. I don't do makeup, so I can't gauge that stuff. But you know, she's a very nice person, and had a very interesting take. But I will have another surprise panelist joining me. Our first panelist member, you know him, you love him. He was here for the first half of the season review. Eldrich, Lord, or Darth Hastur. Welcome. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine, and I gotta tell you, this episode kind of has me like on the fence. Episode 10.
Oh yeah. Episode 10, and it's amazing to me because episode 9 was so good. So many people were hyped. There was a lot of expectations leading up to it. I hadn't heard a lot of really negative critiques. So look, a few worries here and there, but the show in general, and make no mistake, what makes this season different from season 8, and I want to point this out right away before I'm sure there'll be a lot of people coming in comments going, this is bullshit. But season 9 in comparison to 8 is 100 times better. The writing is tighter. The tension is more than than 8, even 7, some of 6. There's a lot more tension, a lot tighter writing. And I don't get a feeling of disrespect from this show. I really do believe they had good intentions of wrapping stuff up. But here's the reality. They were working with 10 episodes as opposed to 13. And it does feel, especially towards this last episode, there's a weight of trying to wrap everything up that season 8 didn't conclude and that season 9 started. And I think that is the issue that a lot of people are running into. It's the feeling of being complete. They set up a lot of things very foolishly, and they don't deliver on the things that they set up, which pissed a lot of people off. I understand, because if you go back through and you watch it from seasons 1 through 4, I clearly see what the original writer who they brought back and director and everything else, I see what they were going for. And they do a callback, if you watch closely, to each and every season. It's just I think the execution is a little shaky, and that's what's rubbing people the wrong way. There were also complaints that, like, oh, he doesn't kill someone in every season or every episode, and
Yeah,
I think that's stupid. There were a couple of episodes, even in the original, where he didn't kill anyone. It was focused on building characters. So I think that's a dumb argument. He doesn't have to kill everyone every season.
exactly. But I'm not even sure that that what was the word you used? Shaky? I don't even think that's the right word. More like rushed.
Rushed. Yes, we were talking about it. It's very rushed. And I am drinking to get my thoughts in order because it's been very hard for me personally to gauge. Like, look, anyone who comes here, if you're a Dexter fan or anything else, I am a huge Dexter fan. I started watching Dexter literally when it began on Showtime, all the way through. I watched the whole thing. Hey, Wookiee Supremacy, what's up? Even if you don't watch it, you can enjoy this witty banter. But before we get started, um, let me go down and look at all of these uh, fine people we have in the chat so I can kind of say hi to everyone. Planet Q's Queen, what up? If you guys don't know, on Twitch, me, Planet Q's Queen, and Jenny Godden will be doing a Nicolas Cage talk. And you guys know how I love Nick Cage. Butterflies, Sparkles, new. Hello, hello, hello. Jenny Godden, hello, how are you? Let me see. We got my favorite pie, lemon pie. What's up, lemon pie? We have Billie Jean. Billie Jean, how are you? And we have Wookiee Supremacy, who I said hey to, and Jane Creek. Hi. Let me see if I missed any comments. Let me see. Who did you send?
There's a lot.
Oh, Butterfly Sparkle says, I love you, Hester.
Yeah, love you too.
Oh, that's sweet. So um let's talk about this. So we really broke this down. Oh, I'm so sorry, Chloe. Hello. How are you, dear? I'm sorry I missed you. I knew I skipped over someone. Damn, I've already failed. Already failed. And we haven't even gotten 7 minutes into this. So wow, there is a lot to unpack.
Where
So
should we
you know,
start?
that's the thing I was thinking about. So where do we start? Let's kind of go down the line here. I'm just gonna pull up Dexter season 9, and I'll kind of go through the episodes really briefly, and then we'll kind of give our thoughts on them. So we did all the way up to 5. 6 was too many tuna sandwiches. That was after what we talked about. We were curious about how Angela was going to react to Dexter, his name being revealed. He's not Jeff Lindsay. He is Dexter Morgan. She found out. That was the printout at the end. What I gotta say, I did like the fact that she didn't just accept him. Like, I did like that they kept the switch. Now that we got to the end, I understand why. But what did you think about how they handled her character and making her start to be like, hey, what's going on? And starting to investigate into him.
I think it was kind of interesting. Yeah, but that I think that's also just her character, the the good detective cop in her. But at least that's the way she's written. She's kind of like she kind of reminds me of Debra.
I was just gonna say that she's like the new Deb. She's very smart, and this whole thing that people put on the internet, like, oh, how come she figures it out when no one did? Well, if you think about the history, the smart female cops who have had a crush or like Dexter have figured it out. Like Deb was the first one during that fucking stupid arc with Doomsday Killer. She found it out literally seeing him, but she was always kind of putting it together. And Angela is kind of like that. She's a very smart, very intelligent cop. It's set up that way in the beginning of the show. So it always kind of felt like a natural progression that she would find out. And the real question was, how was she going to deal with it? And to me, it made sense because she's like on the outside. She's not like, yeah, she's his boyfriend or she's his girlfriend. Sorry, she's his girlfriend.
But you're right. You're right. She is on the outside looking in.
Yeah,
I got to give it to you because according to she's not part of that Bay Harbor butcher crew. So she is on the outside. She has no clue that even that could be even possibly tied to what's going on, whatever is going on up in, what was it, New York, upstate,
yeah. It's
in the
Iron
middle of
Lakes.
Iron Lake, BFE, Woods, New York.
Yeah, so I mean, it makes sense that she would have a different perspective because even when Deb found out, right, Deb's family, so it would make sense for her character to want to protect Dexter. They have that familiar bond. But any normal person who finds out that the person you've been with this whole time, it might be the most prolific serial killer. I mean, I don't know about most people, but I do think it makes sense that she would make that turn like that because it's like he's a fucking. I mean, think about what Dexter does. He kills people, he chops them up, he puts them in Ziploc bags, and he throws them in the middle of the ocean. Like any normal, rational person on the outside looking in would call Dexter a horrendous person. It doesn't matter that he's killing bad people. It's the fact he's still killing people. And when he does his ritual, there's no justice in it. There's not this sense of, oh, he's taken out the trash. Really, it's a ritual that serial killers do. He takes joy and pleasure from doing it. And I think that's where a lot of people get conflicted here. Because
But
the
it's
show
not.
very smartly
But it's
needs
not
you
the
to root
joy.
for him.
It's not the
Uh,
joy of the killing. It's more the joy of the neatness and obsession of the ritual.
But yeah, but still, there is a pleasure in it because remember, the son in that episode 9 catches him smiling about it, and everything he's saying to Kurt is himself too, because he's like, "You didn't do it to preserve these girls. You did it because you need to. You have the urge to." That was all him too. He was confessing what he does himself and not even realizing it. And once again, when you have that outside perspective, which is Harrison in that situation, it kind of shines a light on the fact that Dexter really isn't different than these people. I mean, a perfect example, and I said this to Chelsea when I commented, was, the Trinity killer had said the same thing to him in season 4. He said, people like us destroy everything around us. We don't change. You were connected to me because we are the same. Whether you admit it to yourself now or whether it happens later, you are going to end up in this exact situation. And he was right. Because think about it, they're both older serial killers, right? They both got away with it for years. It was kind of like it all came full circle because he was right. They both have this need and this urge, and it's always going to trump everything else in their lives.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's got this vibe that it makes you feel like don't really know who to root for at that point.
yeah, like I don't know. I think it really spoke to what was going to happen. So anyways, episode 5, not much happened except for Dexter noticed his son had the same dark urges as him. He broke that kid's arm during a wrestling match. So we talked about Angela in this episode. Where did you think the development of Harrison was going to go after Kurt Caldwell was there, Dexter was there. Kurt was happy about Dexter's son's breaking this kid's arm, and Dexter realizes that his son has this darkness in him, and that it's just spilling out without any kind of control. Where did you think it was going, and did you think that was handled at that time, taking out the final and the second to last episode and all that?
I think this is where our point of view differs a little bit, because at that point, I don't see Kurt as getting happy about Harrison breaking his arm. I think he's more happy about Dexter jumping and flying off the handle the way he did. More than,
yeah,
because he knows, because it takes one to know one.
I mean, I don't know. I think that Kurt, what I got from it was Kurt's own son was kind of a disappointment to him, and he couldn't share that darkness. And they kind of highlight it in the next episodes, and we'll talk about that. But Kurt sees Dexter's son as a way for him to kind of take him under his wing, right? It feels like a battle between the two of them that kind of drives the rest of the episodes of who's going to influence Harrison.
So at this point, it's going to be which killer father is going to be tutoring Harrison.
Yeah. And up to this point, Harrison has a very terrible dynamic with Dexter. And we'll get to how that factors in later. But yeah, so right away,
I mean,
there is this kind of tension between, okay, is he going to follow Kurt Caldwell or is he going to follow Dexter? And who's kind of going to win him over?
and that's the whole story in there. That triangle. Who is really gonna be the one to actually be like a figure to Harrison, who's already been abandoned like, at least a good 10 some odd years?
Oh yeah, at least 10 years. And I think all of that was very well set up. Like I would have liked to see what's her face back in it. Why am I blanking out on the name? The mother. Huh?
Rita?
No, not Rita. The one Dexter fell into left Harrison with.
Hannah. No, Hannah wouldn't come back. She died of cancer.
No, but I mean, I would have liked to seen Hannah in this series because I think it would have been interesting, because Hannah was an interesting case as far as serial killers go. She was probably the best part of season 7 because she didn't kill just out of an urge to kill. Every kill she did had a purpose. It was like necessity, survival based. And I feel like a lot of the reason why Harrison isn't as fucked up as he could be was because Hannah didn't have the same motivations that drive Dexter. You know what I mean?
Granted,
Everything she did was self-preservation, not murder just to murder.
Because she was 16 when all her she caught up with her boyfriend, and her boyfriend was Oh, that shit crazy.
Oh yeah, her boyfriend was crazy, and that still affected her. But once again, she was a little bit older than Dexter, and this is the thing
She's
that
got to
holds
take
back.
responsibility for her own actions.
Exactly. What Pop Culture PB, our surprise panelist.
Yeah, Dexter.
How are you doing today?
It's my favorite Showtime show. Pretty good. How you guys doing? I see you were doing a alleged round table with two people.
Yeah, we were supposed to have more, but unfortunately,
Fortunately, the world is still ending. I get it.
yeah, she could make it. By the way, go check out her channel. The links are in the description. She does great reviews, also makeup and how to do makeup for certain horror themed things. And I don't personally do makeup, so I can't grade on how great it is. But go check out her channel. Very nice person. I was DMing her. She has some personal things going on, and it's her birthday. So go to her channel, wish her a happy birthday. And so
You tried to get her on a stream when it was her birthday.
I did not know it was her birthday.
Holy shit, guy!
The Twitter
Excellent communication from General Zod per usual. I mean Dexter. Why is your name fucking Dexter? Dexter doesn't wear a fucking cowboy hat. He's a lumberjack.
Well, apparently at the end of season, he looked like a lumberjack, but I thought he was hiding in. Turns out he was hiding in New York.
Everybody hides in New York. Okay, so we all agree that the
No, we don't.
season. So in episode 6, he breaks the kid's arm. Angela.
Holy fuck! I did not see that coming. Did you
I don't
see
think
it
anybody
coming?
really saw that coming.
Like, how fucking old is that kid?
15.
Yeah, well, I mean, so you're almost an adult.
Yeah. It also speaks to the rage that he has inside, thinking he is going to be an Avenger, not Marvel Avenger,
Ooh,
a vigilante type. So episode 7 is Skin of Her Teeth. Dexter and Angela find evidence against Kurt. They find out that Angela's best friend is indeed dead amongst the bodies. Kurt claims that the DNA belongs to his father to get out, and he also threatens Dexter because when Dexter burned the body in episode 1, he did not realize that the son had titanium screws which don't burn, apparently.
fuck no, they don't.
So
no, they
I mean,
don't.
not at regular body burning temperature.
I've tried melting down titanium. No, seriously, my friend has a kiln. My friend has this kiln, and he volunteered at the local fort, and we used to try to melt stuff down. We made a buster sword out of aluminum. Boy, that thing was still heavy. Clouds
So
buster
let me
sword.
ask you, Eldrich, were you guys trying to cover up some righteous kills, or is this just a coincidence? Were you melting?
No, we weren't. No, because we were seriously thinking of making titanium, and we realized that it's not going to melt at a normal temperature. We're going to have to get it hotter than the kiln is going to take.
All of those hips ripped out of all those people for no reason.
So this episode, she draws upon the old Dexter Morgan. We get to see CIS Dexter, or CSI. I'm sorry.
CIS. CIS is Star Wars. It didn't take us long to get there.
CSI Dexter. And he puts it all together. He's thinking that this is great. But then Kurt Caldwell talks to him, and he's like, hey, when you burned up my son, you didn't get rid of all of the evidence. Now, there's been a complaint that Dexter has made a lot of stupid mistakes, and I wanted to get your guys' opinion. If we take the timeline, right, it's been 10 years. So in the original show, Dexter was what, in his mid 30s and 40s? Me and Bitchy talked about this too.
Wait,
Like,
is he in his mid 30s or is he in his mid 40s?
see, I don't have a definitive age
Okay,
for
so
when
he's 40.8.
let's just say he's in his 40s for argument's sake, right? So that 10 years later would put him in his 50s. Does anyone, Eldrich, could you buy him making these mistakes, being older, hadn't killed a while, in a place where he can't suitably dump the bodies like he's used to? Like, if people were like, oh, he's so stupid, but I'm like, no, he's in a new area. He hasn't done this in 10 years.
He's just a little rusty. Give him a break.
Yeah, that's what I
what
was
did
thinking.
he?
Maybe some rust.
And it's not like he doesn't have the insider information and the lay of the land like he used to, like you said. Like, he knew where to hide everything before because he was already on that beat. He's like, yep, nobody checks this place out. Boop, body.
Eldridge, what do you think? Uh-oh. Your mic's
Being
cutting
rusty.
out a little bit. Oh, okay. There you go.
I think it's just him being rusty, to be honest with you.
Yeah, some rust, right?
It's been a while,
I
and
think
he's trying to get back into the group, and he didn't have all the information like from the
all right,
accident.
you're kind of cutting in and out, just to let you know.
Oh, that's bad.
Is it bad?
There you go.
All right.
I heard you ask, is it bad? And that was it.
Well, I'm gonna stop there. So
Okay, so he's a little rusty. He's out of his element, so it does make sense. I brought that he would make a mistake because this was a perfect scheme to burn the body. There'd be no way he knew that he had titanium screws in him. He's not with the Miami Metro Police anymore, so he can't get personal information. And he's kind of just getting rid of this body on the fly, which kicks off this whole thing. And that part didn't bother me as much as most people. PB, what do you think? Do you think it's fair to make the assessment, oh my God, he's acting like such an idiot, because there's points where a character literally comes off of a series and you go, oh, they wouldn't make this change. But if you do a 10-year gap, wouldn't you be a little bit,
He's not
especially if you move?
I mean, he's not getting, excuse me, he's not getting outdone by anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like, okay, I made a mistake, and me making a mistake is still better than you on your best day. So, yeah, me compared to myself. I mean, at some point, if we're talking about, let's say this is a sport, you're gonna get older, right? 10 years. 10 years is a long freaking time, and that's half a professional career unless you're Tom Brady. And it's a third. So I mean, unless he's actively having that avocado toast, you're not going to be as quick as you are in your prime. Period.
I 110% agree with that. And I think what it comes down to for me is that, okay, we're going to talk about the season final and break that down.
Shit.
And we'll all have our ideas and stuff. But I think that a lot of people are retroactively calling the rest of the show and some of the episodes crap because they're not happy with the final. But that doesn't change the final, and doesn't change what was done in the rest of the show up to that point. That's just the final episode just kind of hinders a few things from
Well,
like 9 and 8, but that doesn't
can I
retroactively say the whole thing's crap.
can I ask you a analogy as a question?
Sure.
Like you like episode 7 of Star Wars, but you like it less after you saw 8, and you like it even less after seeing 9, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so why can't this have the same effect?
I
Why can't the finale make other things during the season either not add up or appear even dumber or dumb when they weren't in the first place? Like there's so many negative effects that the finale could have on the season. I'm not saying that it did. I'm saying it's possible.
That is a very great point. Good
You're
stuff.
welcome.
Wookiee Supremacy says, my next door neighbor spent all evening bragging about his trophy collection, but when he asked about mine, he acted like he'd never seen a bottle of pinky fingers before.
Oh, the fuck, man? God damn.
Wow.
That's messed up.
Welcome to the fandom zone. I've got the best people in chat ever. Welcome. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you come across this later, welcome. We are talking about the last 5 episodes of Dexter because I think you really need to go through every episode till we get to the final to justify whether or not you like the season. And I think it's interesting. I think people hate this for a different reason. Now, none of this was woke. There
I'm
was
not so
no
sure.
there's no real disrespect to any of the characters. It was just I think it's a case that people didn't get what they wanted, and we never talk about this in fandom, right? There are people who will say something sucks because it didn't end how they wanted it to end, and there's a huge difference between something that universally sucks because they just shit the bed as opposed to something that sucks because oh I didn't get the ending that I wanted from the show. And wouldn't you say, PB, that's a monumental difference in how good or bad a show is?
I mean, it depends on how much you can look at something objectively compared to subjectively. Like, if you're not able to remove your emotion and say, yeah, that's not how I wanted it to end, but it was still a good ending, then I know that it's at least possible for you to be objective. And I feel like I'm pretty decent at being objective, but some people out there, not so much. And they're like, well, that was terrible. I didn't like it at all. And I was like, yeah, but what about from just the logic standpoint and what had led up to it in the season? And then they go, well, I didn't like it.
That's kind of where I sit on Dexter. Yeah, it's it was good until the last episode, and then I just feel the ending was really, really rushed, and all this exposition had to be laid out to get everybody a sense of closure for not only just Kurt's arc, but Harrison's arc and the end of Dexter's arc, and where that
Yeah,
could have went.
yeah, and I think we're definitely gonna get to that. So we basically talked about episode 7. It was basically that that
Spit it
Dexter
out.
that Dexter and Kurt are fighting for the soul of Harrison.
Yeah.
Kurt pretty much lays out that he murdered his son. Oh, the big thing was my favorite character. Oh man, The Mary kills.
What, your favorite
Mary fucking
character, and you
kills.
don't remember the name?
I believe her name was
Her
Molly.
name was Molly Park.
Yes, Molly.
Thank you. At least somebody here is on that game.
Molly, I thought was a great character, and I will admit, the one thing that pissed me off was them killing her. I felt like that was a very fucking unceremonious thing. We don't even see her getting killed, and I understand it was for a shock factor because the last two episodes are kind of like, where the fuck is she? Did Dexter kill her? Did Kurt kill her? You don't really know, but I think it would have been cool if they would have showed a flashback of her figuring it out and going, you know, you're the killer, that he kind of kills her before Dexter gets to her or something. How did you guys feel about the way they revealed that? Because I'll be honest with you, that was one of my big complaints. I really liked her character. She was one of my favorites. And I can't believe that they fucking kill her off screen. That really bugged me. Go ahead and talk about
And
it.
on that note, she, not that she was your favorite character. She wasn't that bad on the eyes either. Look at that. Molly Park was actually quite attractive.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think that you don't want to be adding a bunch of uggos to the show.
Yeah,
Like
probably not.
they
But
did, they did appropriate casting there.
yeah, I think the casting was really good. Even oh, what's her name? Audrey's daughter. I mean, yeah, Angela's daughter, Audrey. That's what I meant to say. Blah,
Okay.
tongue tied. Yeah, that was even perfect casting as casting goes.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It was just, you know, yes, she was easy on the eyes, but a lot of it was too that I liked how savvy she was, and like she was
She
pretty
was saucy.
smart when,
Wait,
yeah, she was saucy and
so
smart.
I have a question. Does every kill have to happen on screen?
Apparently
I
not in
mean,
this series.
yeah, a lot
Well,
of
I mean, is that something that it's holding back? Because I feel like, okay, there was a bunch of kills in Chucky. They don't all happen on screen.
I mean,
Like we
yeah,
have
that's
we have no idea exactly how he decapitated the mayor. I have no idea.
I
True.
mean, yeah, that okay, that's a fair point. Yeah, I
So
didn't
I
really
mean,
look at
there
it like
are
that.
some kills that happen off screen, but I mean, when a character is, I know that they're only there for one season, but if they're that intertwined in the story and you're going to kill them off, I would like to see it on the screen, please.
Yeah, and that's the thing. She was one of the pivotal characters, intertwined with a lot of it. And I don't know, it felt kind of like you were saying, Eldridge. It felt a little rushed, like, okay, we all knew from the beginning she was probably going to die. They probably knew she was going to die. She probably knew she was going to die because any character in Dexter that's not one of the main cast that's introduced, there's a very good chance they're going to die unless they're doing something with them the next season. So, I mean, if you're a new character, you're pretty much fucked. Um, except for that one kid who explained to Dexter about the boat accident. He lived, but everybody else who's a fucking
Right, but how?
introduced,
I mean, how old was he?
I don't know.
He's just a
He
kid.
was an adult.
Oh, he was, well,
He was the same. He was about the same age as Matt Caldwell, probably about 20 in his late, early, mid to.
okay.
Yeah, so I mean, there was a lot of there was like a lot of great potential, and once again, and we're gonna get towards the ending here because we're on 8 right now, where we're heading towards episode 8. But there was a lot of potential, and I felt like once again, kind of rushing the story. And this is my issue with them only having 10 episodes as opposed to 13. is I feel like a lot of people had to be kind of put to the side to finish off the storylines we were talking about.
That's a consequence of having so many people in a show. I mean, it's the
Yeah.
ninth season,
Yep.
and it was on. How long was it on hiatus?
10 years.
Right. So you're gonna come back and you're only gonna do one season. You know that they're going to add some characters. I mean, the question was, how many characters were they going to bring back?
Yes. Which the answer was 1, and we're going to get to that one too because
Well, I mean, you're not including Dexter when you say one.
No,
Yeah.
they kind of no, actually, kind of too.
Oh yeah, because
If you
Deb.
count what's in Dexter's head,
Yeah, that's true. They brought Deb, they brought Batista, but that was pretty much it. Like none of the
yeah,
original cast was there.
Deb,
It was
played by
all
Jennifer
new
Carpenter,
characters.
all up in his headspace, trying to keep him at bay, having him trying to figure out how he's going to Harrison and try to keep his urges in check. I mean, you could just see Debbie just yelling at him.
I mean, it's got to really suck to lose to yourself like that.
Well, it's
Totally
not
hurts.
Harry anymore. It used to be Harry back in the original series, but now that Deborah's dead, I guess he manifested her.
Yeah, as his conscience. So
Right,
kind of.
conscience. Yep, sure.
So
Yeah, we'll go with that.
unfair game. This picks up where the last episode leaves off. At the end of the episode, Dexter is captured. He's in the back of the car. Kurt has this grand plan. He's gonna have he brings Dexter's son to the cabin. He's got Dexter on his way. Dexter escapes. I gotta say, this was one of my favorite episodes. I love what Dexter did with kind of a callback to the other seasons where he took the zip tie and put it around the guy's face because the guy had his hands zip tied, and he takes him and starts choking him with the zip tie, but he can only get to his mouth, so he starts cutting into his mouth so hard that the guy swerves off the road. Dexter goes flying out of the fucking window. Everybody put your
2
seatbelt on.
points. No. I don't want to burn to death, you son of a bitch.
So he flies out of the window. Dude gets out, has a shotgun, starts tracking him. And then
What is a shotgun?
most of the episode is Kurt luring Harrison to his cabin, and Dexter trying to get back to his son when he realizes that the whole time Kurt is going to kill his son out of revenge. What did you guys think of this episode? I thought it was very intense. Probably one of the more brutal episodes of the season. That it was very tense with the dude chasing Dexter, and then Kurt basically telling Harrison a bunch of bullshit. We find out he's actually not trying to mentor Harrison. He wants an eye for an eye. So he wants to kill Dexter's son for Dexter killing his son. I thought this was a pretty
Fair play.
good episode. What'd you guys think?
An eye for an eye, a son for a son. Yeah, I don't have no qualms with that assessment. That sounds pretty spot on for what I was going to say.
Jenny got and said, "Wait, someone gets thrown out a window, or did the guy jump?" Dexter got.
Whoa. No. That's what I was going to say. How many times? Like, it doesn't happen every time. Like, I've seen all kinds of TV shows, seen all kinds of movies where there's a car crash, but you do not see all kinds of car crashes that the person who intentionally causes the crash is the one who also gets completely launched out of the window, and then he scurries the fuck away.
Yeah, that's what
I
happened
mean,
here.
it played out exactly how he wanted it to. I mean, I don't like you're gonna get fucked up either way. You're either
I
gonna
mean,
smash into what's in front of you in the vehicle, or you're gonna
let's
skid to a halt outside the vehicle.
on that argument, let's take a look at Dexter's past, shall we? Blood spatter analyst, Miami Metro. I don't think he could have figured out the trajectory of his body physically flying through the air upon a car crash.
I mean,
I mean, he could
yeah,
figure out where blood's going to land. I'm pretty sure he could figure out where a human's going to land in a car crash.
yeah. I mean, yeah. That's pretty. That's pretty. So you think he premeditated, like, oh,
Not all
I'll
completely
crash in here at this
premeditated.
angle, and
Not completely. Not completely, but I'm pretty sure he would survive it.
he had a gist of where his body would land if the car did crash at that specific angle. I'm gathering.
Absolutely.
Oh, probably. Probably. It probably flashed in his head in like an instant.
He had shaken all of the
It was,
rust off at this point.
yeah, Rust
Hey,
is
Starman.
definitely off at this point. I would have to agree with that. Rust is definitely off at this point.
Yeah. So he does that plan. This guy is tracking him because he's got a cut on his leg. So he starts using his own blood to lure his captor, lures him into this cabin, and proceeds to torture the guy for information on where he was going, and then
Exactly how he should have.
and then stabs him.
That's what the genius of the show is going to do. He's going to take whatever his worst possible situation is, which is a giant bloody leg, and he's going to turn it into a positive, and boom, work like a charm.
I agree. This was definitely a Dexter return to form. He was ready. He fucking lured the guy in. He got uh he
Even
got
with the
the
fake out at the lake, with the blood trail at the lake
oh
or the
yeah,
river.
yeah. He got the guy to follow him all the way through, all the way to the cabin, and attacks him, and then at the end he steals the guy's truck, sends Kurt a message saying he's on his way. Kurt turns on Harrison, does his ritual where he tells him to run. Harrison is getting ready to do the whole run, and Dexter fucking hits Kurt with the car. Now, I only had one issue with this. Like,
Hold on,
how the
let me
fuck?
do a. If I had a telestrator, I could put a circle on the screen and go, and then boom. So John Madden would say,
Boom, shakalaka.
That was my one issue with this. How the fuck did he get up? Like, I don't know if I quite buy that. Stabby Sherry, hey.
"Stabby Sherry." Oh
Yeah,
my God!
goes with the Dexter
It
theme.
does. It does. I'm glad that you can get on board with the theme. I didn't get on board. My name just says PB.
So, how did you guys like the development of this, and did you buy Kurt pulling a fucking Superman? Because I'm sorry, he got fucking hit hard. I still land on he should have been dead from that. That's just a nitpick, I know, but
Yeah, I at least should have been in a hospital in fucking traction.
Evil
without a
people
doubt.
are harder to kill. That's a fact. Look at you. You just watched Hawkeye. Look what happened to Kingpin. He just walked away.
Yeah, but we're
Yeah, I
not
guess it
starting
really is
rumors.
delicate. I gotta give you that.
I
This
mean,
guy, he only got hit by a car. Kingpin got literally blown the fuck up, and he's like, "Yeah, it's fine."
Oh, you got to hit a full size truck.
That's what's okay. Same thing with what's his face, Iron Man 2, Mickey Rourke. He got hit by that freaking car how many damn times?
Yeah, that is.
He's not a superhero. He just had that little freaking exo. It's still hitting a human with a car there. They're like, he's just spitting up a little blood. He's fine. You gotta hit evil people extra hard.
Yeah, those gripes aside, it was a solid episode. I liked it. So now we're getting to the meat and potatoes. 2 episodes left. Episode 9, I really loved, and in this one, Angela is having trouble processing the evidence against Dexter. She learns Molly is missing. Dexter bonds with Harrison after he finds out. He kind of reveals the code and that he is a serial killer.
You had to see that coming, didn't
you? They find Kurt Caldwell's bunker with his trophies, including my favorite character, Molly. Fuck you, Kurt. And they lure him in to kill him. They grab him at his house. He ketamines him, and then they do the ritual, and Harrison gets to watch Dexter do his ritual. Dexter makes the speech, which I referenced in the beginning of the stream, where he talks about how Kurt did all of this for himself because Kurt gives the excuse, I was trying to preserve these girls. They were all runaways, and I was helping them out. And Dexter gives a speech about how he is just doing it to satisfy his own urges. He is not trying to help anybody. And it kind of mirrors his own. He starts decapitating and cutting Kurt into pieces. And his son kind of gets sick, has to walk out of this. And it kind of starts to show the differences between Harrison and Dexter, where Dexter
not to mention the flashbacks, not to mention Harrison's flashbacks to his mother.
Yeah, he flashbacks to his mom and them being
the Wiggles flashback was amazing.
Yeah, it's far from a Wiggles flashback. I believe. Let's remind the audience that his mother was Rita. She was killed in her bathtub by the Zodiac killer in revenge for Dexter meddling into his life.
Yeah, Trinity, which was played brilliantly by John Lithgow.
It was Trinity. I get this mixed up.
Yeah, it was kind of the same. They kind of took influence from the Zodiac killer because that's how he killed. But
that's why I get them mixed up, because it has real life precedents.
Yep. And so Trinity flashback shows Harrison remembers when he was a kid being in a pool of his mother's blood. So when Dexter is cutting up Kurt and blood starts to go towards his feet, he kind of has those flashbacks. He goes, I got to step outside. But he kind of reaffirms to Dexter, right? He's like, you're a hero. Like, you kill one person, but how many thousands of people are you saving because of the fact that you killed this one person who would have killed multiple people, which kind of goes to the thing, and we'll get to there when we get to the last episode, but kind of justifying to Dexter and giving him a reason in his mind, like, yeah, I did save a bunch of people, but my own personal opinion is it's not an altruistic thing. He's really just using it as an excuse to do what he does. Dexter's house got burnt down in the last one. Dexter and Harrison are staying at Angela's, and at the end of the episode, Angela gets a note because Kurt gets his last bit of revenge. He sent the screws and a note to Angela about his son's murder and gives her the evidence. And after the the Bay Harbor Butcher and her looking up all these things and having her own doubts. She finally puts everything together that he killed Kurt Caldwell's son, and it kind of leaves a cliffhanger for the beginning of the final episode, the controversial episode, the episode that pissed everybody off, Sins of the Father. Now, I'd like to first start by saying I fucking love the title of this.
Hold on, before you move on to the next episode. So no one in this tiny ass town ever knew about Kurt's cabin, and no one ever realized all the missing women were last seen with Kurt outside his own diner. So not one single person saw this happening over decades, and Angela
No,
has no idea. But she Googled 2 things about Dexter and figured out what Miami PD couldn't for ages.
but that's
That's
the thing.
a
But
great point.
that's what Kurt was doing. He was targeting runaways that hardly anybody cared about. Nobody knew they were missing.
Yeah, and I do agree with one PB point. My first problem that came up with this ending was that her putting together the Bay Harbor Butcher with Dexter was a stretch, and the reason why I had a hard time buying it was because of the fact that she kind of jumps to this conclusion based on the cases that she has in her town, but they're not really related in any kind of way. Even the method. So I did find it a stretch that she would be the one who would be like, oh, yeah, he is doing this because in the file, Doak suspected him and all of this stuff. Like, I watched it again, and there was like no chopped up bodies she could really make that connection and be like, oh shit, these bodies are chopped up like the ones in the other murders. So,
The only the only real clue she really had was the fact of the well from the ketamine shot that
which I think
the
that
Bay
was
Harbor
the fuck
Butcher
up
used.
by the directors, and I'll tell you why. Because in the original series, he didn't use ketamine; he used MDA. So I think they kind of messed that up. I have to go back through just to double check, but I'm pretty sure that the shots are different from each other. The method is the same, but I think,
Yeah,
and that's a small nitpick, but I think they fucked that up because he never used ketamine in the original. He couldn't get it.
he used a horse tranquilizer.
Yeah. So I mean it. That little thing aside, so I'll just kind of read the synopsis here so everybody can get on board with what happened. Hold on to your butts and spoiler warning, which we've been doing spoilers throughout the whole thing
Oh,
anyway.
spoiler alert! Put it up,
Pick
scroll it
up
on the
your
bottom of the
tentacles. It's get
screen.
deep, everyone.
Hold on.
You got that banner, don't you? Oh, look at that shit. Spoilers, people. Yeah, they all know.
As if we didn't.
So, so the ending. Angela arrests Dexter for the murder of Matt Caldwell, which was a fucking awesome scene. He makes a reference that she's taken their role playing too far. Logan comes in from the side because he looks at a knife, which brings me back to him being a monster all along. But I'll state that point when we get to the end. When
Oh, he's the monster. Sure.
when he rebuts all the evidence she brings forward to him, she contacts Batista, who is shocked to learn Dexter is still alive. Backed in a corner,
Yep.
Dexter tells Angela about Kurt's bunker. She leaves to go investigate it. Dexter breaks his code once again, and he kills Logan. R.I.P. Logan, the nicest fucking character ever made in a show.
Fuck him.
Probably
He-
some
How can he?
of the best acting in the show too.
How could he
I
be
think
the
Logan.
nicest character in the show if Dexter killed him?
He kind of was, but the bartender lady. That
Oh
bartender
yeah,
lady
the
was
bartender
nice.
lady too was pretty nice. So he kills him. Angela sees the work that Kurt did, and she finds Molly. She finds all of the fucking missing people for like 20 years in this bunker, all kind of dressed up like dolls, really fucking sick. Dexter leaves to go see Harrison so they could get the fuck out of town. While they're fleeing, Dexter gets into an argument with Harrison, like, hey, we got to get out of here. Basically, he has gone off the reservation. They are going to pursue him after they find out Logan is dead because Angela calls for backup and realizes nobody is answering. So she beelines it towards the station. Then Harrison and Dexter start talking. I think this was one of the best dialogues. Harrison tells him that Logan did not fit the code. He can't understand why he would kill him, that he has broke his own rules. He's not an Avenger. He is the monster. And he says a callback to the very first episode of Dexter. And if you guys never seen it, in the first episode,
Love callbacks. This one's beautiful.
He has this pedophile, and he's trying to show him his sins, and the pedophile won't look at what he's done to these little boys. So he grabs him by the throat and he says, "Look at this. Look at what you've done." And Harrison parrots that from the very first episode and says, "Look at everything you've done. Look at all of the people who have died because of you." And he starts flashing back to Dokes, to Deb, to really strangely the detective guy who was in love with Deb. What was his name? Lundy.
Yeah.
Rita. Everybody who has subsequently died, whether or not it is by him directly, LaGuerta, these are people who died because of his actions. In some way, shape, or form, the mistakes he made directly killed these people. And he had been running away from this for years. And he realizes that if he runs with Harrison, he will destroy Harrison's life. So he asks Harrison to kill him. And Harrison looks, and then without fucking blinking at all, fucking shoots him in the chest. Dexter is sitting on the snowy ground on his back dying, and he has a vision of Deb, who's holding his hand as she dies, and she kind of lets go of him. And people who think Dexter's alive, no, the directors came out and confirmed it. He's fucking dead. So there's a theory going around that they didn't show him die, like take his last breath, so he wasn't dead. He's fucking dead. The actor said it. The fucking director said it. Dexter's done. That's the end.
Well, that's what I think. So much for what I was hoping.
Yeah, Dexter is fucking dead. That whole scene was meant to convey that, like when his hand drops and Deb lights go, that was basically him dying. Angela arrives at the aftermath. She gives Harrison some money and tells him to leave town and never return. She said she'd take responsibility for killing Dexter. And Harrison reads Dexter's note to Hannah, which is basically just him explaining that he wanted his son to have a better life, and that he felt like being in his life, he would make him a monster, and all that. So, yeah, it was some pretty heavy stuff. PB, I did get your message.
You did? Do you want to put it on the screen?
I don't know. Well, let me see if I could do it from
Let's
here.
see what I don't know what's going to happen if you click on it. I was hoping it would send the picture with the caption above it because I seen it on my app and I was like, oh, I know who would also enjoy this. Everybody who's watching.
All right.
I would bet at least half of them have watched the show You. Have you seen You, Eldrich?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, so when Dexter was talking about
yeah,
moving to LA with Harrison, this is all this person could think about. Hi, Joe. Oh, shit.
Yeah, so
Yeah, he
we
would be so screwed.
so we have confirmed Dexter is in Joe's universe. Could we see a crossover? Maybe Harrison tracks Joe in Paris, and we have you and fucking Dexter crossover. That would be pretty cool. So,
Okay.
this is the
I don't. Had his dad be his conscience, like Deb and Harry was for.
so you think that Harrison's gonna have Dexter as his conscience? Well, this is the majority of this discussion. I think that this is the most contentious episode. So, you and me talked about this, and we'll kick it back and forth. But PB, what do you think of this final? And do you think people are more mad that they didn't get a whole court case and him getting the electric chair and stuff like that? And do you think
Oh,
that
you wanted to
justifies?
see like the justice system prevail
Yeah,
instead of just get justice? Because I feel like it works either way.
I mean, just to you, do you feel like for you the ending that they gave works, and do you think it
No, it did
destroys?
not work. 3 characters had to act completely different from what we were shown in order for that ending to happen. It's way too forced to be enjoyable.
Ooh, hot take. So go ahead. Explain.
The the only way I could actually justify remotely Angela's actions was for the sake of Harrison and her daughter, Audrey, or Audrey, because Harrison and Audrey were dating and they were very, I'd have to say, very cute together as a couple. And
Yeah, they
since
were.
she did what she did when she did it at the very end, it may have been out of character for her police job, but I think she went into full on fucking mama mode and
Yeah,
got him out of her life for the sake of her daughter so she wouldn't have to find out how bad things really were.
I mean, they did establish that in the beginning, right? She was kind of always shielding her from her job. So, yeah, would you put it like that? That doesn't seem like an out of character move, which everyone said. But if you look at it from a perspective of a parent, it's like, yeah, because if he stayed there, they would have to explain Kurt Caldwell. They would have to explain Dexter. She was dating Dexter. That kid's already gonna have fucking issues because of what Dexter did, and that Dexter was dating
With
the fucking chief
that,
of police in that town. Not to mention her deputy was killed on her watch. That's a whole bunch of other issues.
You sound like
That is
Snap,
gonna be.
Crackle, and Pop while you're talking. Do you know this?
just a little bit.
Uh,
Usually it's
no,
me.
I
Every
didn't.
time you this is true. And now it's switched over to him for some reason.
Yeah.
Bye, Jenny.
Yeah. I'll see you on that stream. Are you gonna come over to Twitch, PB, and see the epic Nicolas Cage discussion?
Oh my god. Maybe
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
listen to it. I'm probably
Do we
I'm
got a
part
link?
of a Nicolas Cage discussion.
I mean, it's Nick Cage, the greatest actor of our time.
I'd say he's the only Coppola actually in practice, besides maybe Sophia, but that's just.
I 100% agree. So, he does. So, yeah. So a lot of people are angry about this. I think a lot of people want to see a court case. I could understand that. Now, there are some issues where they bring Batista. He's on his way, but he never shows up. That was a big issue. And I could see from a fan perspective. I'm a huge fan of the show. I would have liked like a standoff between Dexter and Batista and him going, you were the one who framed Dokes. You got Ligarita killed. You know, kind of all putting it together. I think
that would have been an epic
would tie up
showdown.
Miami.
That would have been an epic showdown. Batista and Dexter mano a mano, and let that finally end it. Whether Batista gets killed or Dexter, which the way they're writing things, probably Dexter's going to bite the dust.
Yeah, I mean,
But
a lot of people had a problem with Harrison killing him, and I understand it. Do you think after this whole season and the way they constructed it, that Harrison earned that sort of right to be the one to put Dexter down?
oh, sorry about the car. They I don't know what that was.
It's fine. We're past it. What was the question again, guy?
Yeah, what was the question again? I'm so sorry. I kind of got distracted by the guy damn near drag racing outside my house.
Do you think that Harrison being the one to put down Dexter was earned, or are you on the team where they're like, no, this is bullshit?
I could see where it could be justified, but I still feel, I don't know. It feels a little forced to me. I don't know if you feel the same way about it. Like,
I'm so
Who
conflicted.
else?
for
Who
constriction of
else?
time purposes.
Right,
No,
they're not giving you another
fucking
season.
spoilers,
So
honey.
what the fuck? What is happening? Domestic.
Sorry, if I cut off. My lovely lady has chopped me up in pieces and thrown me into the ocean.
Domestic dispute.
And-
He's gonna get Dextered.
He's going to get Bay Harbor butchered.
So, yeah.
Who else was he gonna pass the mantle on to?
I mean,
I mean, it's definitely
think
not
Bob-
Kurt. He's already in pieces.
Exactly.
so,
I mean, I feel like it might not fit 100% perfectly, but it's the best fit.
But I know the pieces fit because I watched.
I do not know that song.
I do. So here's the. I think here is the big question: is that, I mean, and I wanted to tackle this because it's been going around the internet and blah blah blah. I don't think that this is the worst season of television or the worst ending to a show. I think had you done this about 10 years ago and completely drop what season 8 was, it might not have been satisfying or even gone down as a great ending, but I think it would have been a satisfied ending. I think the 10-year gap really hyped up, especially when we got the episodes and they were really good. I think it whipped up people into thinking and constructing these like masterful, grand endings that they all had built for 10 years. And I don't think, this is just my personal opinion, I don't think anything that the director would have given us would have made people 100% happy. I think logically,
Hold on. 100%. What percentage are you shooting for? Are you shooting for Ryan Johnson percentages, where 50% of us are going to hate it and the other 50% are going to like it? Because 50-50 doesn't seem like a good one. So what number are you shooting for? Because you'll never hit 100 unless you're Dr. Fauci.
Even Dr. Fauci doesn't hit 100.
Well, he is the science. Like he's 100 all the time. Triple mask, quadruple vaxxed, and I still don't know what the fuck's going on.
So I would say what you would need to go for is slightly above 50%.
Just slightly. So you're shooting for anything between 51% and 100. Anywhere in there,
Yeah,
you're like, yeah, more people like it than don't like it, so it's good.
well, yeah, I would say that, or it's logical. I think logic. Okay, my reasoning is logically, what happened to him had to happen. Now, did we 100% have a non-messy way to get there? No, not at all. Especially at the end, and I agree with Eldridge. It did
Of
feel
course you
rushed
do.
towards the end. Um,
I feel
but
like we all agree on that.
but at the same time, it was like this was pitched, and it even said for how long, limited series. So they didn't even think they were going to get a another series. So they had to the enormous task of kind of doing what J.J. Abrams tried and failed to do, fix what incompetent directors did in the first series, and then tie up not only that series loose ends, but the loose ends that are created from bringing Dexter back. And I think with what they had, they definitely did a better job than J.J. Abrams. Like,
Not setting the bar very
Okay.
high there, are you?
I mean, it is a
I
good bar.
I think a squirrel on a speed.
I mean, okay, in comparison, like I've heard this
Oh
comparison a
fuck!
lot.
Here we go. Here we go.
Yeah, and I'm gonna dispel this. Any of you
No, you're
fucking
not.
people who say that this is worse than Game of Thrones, you are
Oh, it's
fucking.
well. I mean, oh, right? No, it's not like the cripple popped up out of the woods and killed Dexter. He's like, yeah, we'll let the cripple be the murderer now.
Honey, I will get you chocolate as soon as I am done.
Oh, more domestics.
You see what that goes through? You see why my hair is like this? This is why my hair is like this. What are you? Don't look at me like that. Hey, no.
See
You
the
can't just
knife
give me a
fly
cute
past his
look
head.
and think that, oh, we're going to sweep away all of the shit I just said because I'm going to give you a cute look and just stroll around in my sweatpants looking sexy.
Don't
That's
turn the
not how this
camera.
works.
Don't turn the camera.
Thank you, Butterfly Sparkles.
You're
I agree.
welcome. Oh, butterfly. Sorry. I thought
But
you were
yeah,
thanking me.
thank you. And
Wait,
I
what did
concur.
they
I
say?
think, like we said, this is nowhere near the level. Okay, see, there's a difference, and I want to explain
It's
this.
not like the
Anybody who
SG1 series finale.
nothing will ever top that. Shout out to Stargate fans. Okay,
Like the story
so
just continues. It's beautiful. Continue.
big face to tell people this, okay? And anyone who comes across my channel and leaves comments or whatever, know this. Okay? This is not as fucking bad as you guys think, okay? Let's just recap the shit we've had since 2016. Okay, folks, we had shitty Ghostbusters. We had an atrocious fucking new Star Wars trilogy. We had a fucking shitty, spectacularly shitty Game of Thrones ending. I'm here to tell you right now, okay? The writing on this show is nowhere near that fucking level of incompetence, okay? The people here gave a shit, and I never once, ever once got the inkling that they did not care about what they were doing. The difference is between like the dissatisfaction of this season and the dissatisfaction from the season 8, okay? Let me just recap for you guys in case you fucking forgot how fucking
Please
terrible
do.
season 8 was. Okay, let's just recap that. Dexter fucking kills somebody in a police station. They let him go. He fucking grabs his sister, who could have lived, maybe on life support. We don't fucking know. Doesn't give her the fucking chance. Unhooks her from life support. Goes on a boat. Rides into a fucking Category 3 storm. Okay? Survives.
But it was
And
a
is
small
fucking
category
lumberjack.
3. It was a small
Huh?
category 3.
Yeah, but the storm fucks shit up, okay? Logistically, he should not fucking have survived that, okay? But he fucking survives the storm and ends up a fucking lumberjack. Can anybody with a fucking straight face tell me that that ending there is worse than this ending? That you got everything resolved. That fucking everything was it was so much better with that shitty ending. No, you
Wait,
can't.
so you think this ending is better than the season 8 ending?
Oh, hands down. 100. I will die on that fucking 110%.
So killing Dexter is better than not killing Dexter?
Yeah. That was what the
Wow,
that's
what a
what
Dexter fan.
here's the
He's
thing.
like, you know what I would love in my Dexter series? I would love them to put a nail in the coffin of any future Dexter series. That's what I want from my Dexter series. What the fuck is wrong with you, guys? Don't you want more Dexter? You can't get more Dexter. Dexter's dead.
Here's the thing. The series was always going to that point, and I'd rather that they stop it at a decent season.
So you just want a finite ending. Wait a second. If you want a finite ending, how come you like the ending to SG1 so much? Because it is the exact opposite of finite. It's literally unending.
But here's the thing with that, though. The characters all have an ending. All of their story is wrapped up. The
I know,
crew
I have
got
to put a super
closure.
reel together of all of the moments between Teal'c and Carter that lead up to them actually being destined for one another. That rips my heart out every time that I hit the end of that episode.
Okay, like
Like
yeah.
you don't have that. Do you have that moment in this episode where you're like, oh man, I can't believe that they did? You're like, no, yeah, now he's dead. Life is good. I ain't gotta worry no more.
The one regret, like I said with Eldrich, is that him and Batista didn't have a big standoff moment. I would have liked
Yeah,
to see
Batista
that
was there
kind
for
of close
nothing.
that.
He was there for
Huh?
nothing. He didn't interact with Dexter or with Angela. He was there for nothing.
I mean, yeah,
Interact with Angela at the cop convention in earlier episodes.
in an earlier episode he interacted with her, but I mean it was implied he was on his way. And if we're killing people off screen, I guess off screen we can assume that they met up together and he saw Dexter and he's like, oh man, that's fucked up. Now we can clear Dokes. And when you think about it, at least poor Dokes got a resolution too, because for like 10 years they all thought he was the fucking Bay Harbor butcher. I mean, granted, his friends, family, and everyone who ever knew him, probably their whole lives were destroyed. But, I guess silver lining, he's finally
And
exonerated.
if anybody
like 10
living
years later.
has anybody living their stake in the resolution of finding a Dexter, it would be Sergeant Batista, because he was married to Detective LaGuerta, who was really trying to clear Doak's name in the first place, and that's kind of what got her killed.
Yeah,
If my
that did
memory
get her
serves
murdered.
me right.
Yeah, it got her murdered by Deb because Dexter was going to kill her, and then Deb found her and had to choose between shooting Dexter or shooting LaGuerta, which that scene didn't make sense to me because honestly they didn't need to do neither. She just needed
What
to
do you
keep her
mean? It
there
had
to
to be
ceremony.
no. It had to be one or the other. It made perfect sense. Like you must make a choice.
But yeah, not pointing out the flaws of that whole season. I think for what they had to work with season 8 and then constructing a fitting ending, at least for me, it's as fitting and a lot better as far as revitalizations and trying to at least give fans what they would
the only
like. I
thing
think
that
this does it better.
the only thing I was massively disappointed in was the lack of chopping of wood. I thought for sure there was going to be more, at least early in the season. I thought there was going to be more chopping of the wood.
Yeah, we never got to see.
No, like I mean, it's something that brings a sense of reality because it's like, okay, you're doing something basic to survive. I mean, how often do you see him go to the store and buy groceries? You probably they don't show that because it's not very important. But something like that, you can see that they're doing something that's grounded in survival. That's a real thing. You got to survive, and then you just have a conversation around it. Have this character show up, that character show up.
Local bar.
Probably like, oh, he's out there chopping wood again.
He does go to the local bar to get the local. I mean, so he's up on news and things in this small town,
Right, like
whether
going
he's
out
into
to
the
keep himself
ear
in
or
food.
not.
This is all great conversation. Like, yeah, here's the thing. I will say
Oh, we finally made it to him saying, "Here's the thing."
here's the thing.
Here it is.
I think at the end of the day, this was. I think when we all look back on this and this has time to settle, I think a lot of people will come to the side of this is not as bad as the fucking season 8 final was. I think this is not a Revenge of the or no what it's so bad. I forgot the
Revenge
name of
of the
Star Wars.
Terror. Wait, what? Wait, the
The
newest
the
one? Oh,
yeah.
The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, this wasn't a Rise of Skywalker. I didn't feel like it didn't let me down on that level.
No, I mean, if it would have been like The Rise of Skywalker, you would have seen literally every old character pop up.
Yeah. I don't feel like I feel like there was a plan. At least there was a plan and they knew where it was going to go and they stuck to their guns. And I can respect that. Like I respect that they
Stuck to
had the
their
balls.
guns like Alec Baldwin.
Yeah, we'll be back to
Oh.
Alec Baldwin.
Oh.
There's a lot of developments there.
No.
We'll get to this Friday. I got some new
Ooh, Friday.
juicy. Oh yeah,
What's on Friday?
The late night talks.
Oh, late night talks with Zod and PB and whoever the fuck else shows up usually.
Yeah, you never know. Who knows?
What a great show! What a great show! You should check it out.
Yeah. Everybody should definitely go and check that out. Anyways, I'm gonna kind of wrap this up because I know Planet Q's Queen.
Yeah, we know you have to go get chocolate. We get it.
Yeah, I gotta go get chocolate, and then I gotta go on and talk about Nicolas Cage, which if you guys are part of my channel, you know my number 2 love in life is Nicolas Cage.
Question.
I thought it was chocolate.
No, that's
like okay. So at this point, like, how long you been living at the location you're at? Like 6 months, 5 months, something.
Just about a year, actually.
Holy fuck! It's been a year. You have a pantry area that you put food in, correct?
Yes.
How do you not have a stockpile of chocolate in there?
Okay, so here's the thing. If we put chocolate in here, she'll eat it all. So we
all of
gotta
it.
go.
All of it. Wait, all of it.
Yes.
Like, it doesn't get full at some point.
Yes.
I think that you need to, like, challenge. Go out after. So this is what I did a couple years ago. Went out and bought like $400 worth of candy because it was the day after Halloween. So it only came to $200.
That's the time to get it too.
Fucking A, right? That shit lasted for an entire fucking year, man. Like, you think she can eat 40 pounds of chocolate?
Yes.
Okay, challenge. You challenge her. She'd be like, we need chocolate. Be like, yeah, man, I got another 20 pounds in the pantry. Have at it, unicorn. And she'd be like, okay. And she'd be like, okay, we're out of chocolate now. And you'd be like, it's been 30 minutes.
But it's only a week. How in the hell did you even swallow them? Or did you just detach your jaw and swallow them whole like a stick?
Yeah, swallow them whole. They melt in your stomach.
So this has been an abuser talk. Once again, we did not have another panel list member. We'll go check out
Dexter was good, not great, but it ended better than it did the first time, and now we don't have to worry about if they're ever going to bring it back. But we do get to worry about if they're ever going to do a spinoff.
Yes, there is a strong possibility, especially with the ratings, they might go with a Harrison spinoff. I don't know if I'll watch that, but we'll see.
I would.
I guess. I mean, if they bring back Michael C. Hall, then sure, I'll be in it.
Yeah, he's going to be they're going to bring back Michael C. Hall as the conscience.
I mean, that's what I'd do if I was them.
Like 100%.
Michael C. Hall said he's done with the character, so.
Well, yeah, but he's just like, they're going to be like, hey, we're going to send you some lines. If you could just record them at home and send them back, that'd be great.
If they brought back Michael C. Hall, you'd be on board. But what? Danny, something. What was her name? Something Garcia. I can't remember her first name.
Oh, I don't know.
But I think she'd be good to come back if they do a spinoff. That way, at least Harrison has somebody in his old life to off of.
Oh yeah, Yavana. I can't say her last name, but yeah,
not her, mother. Stravosky or Hannah.
Yeah. Oh, Hannah. Hold on. Before we go, let's get a picture of Hannah so you guys see why I want her to come back.
Oh, you finally. All right, here we go.
Oh yeah.
Here we go. Let the male gaze commence.
Show, right?
I'm sorry. We're gonna be toxic males for a second, and
this is Main Street misogyny.
So this
that's
is
Michael C. Oh
yeah.
Hello, Yvonne.
My favorite season of Dexter. That was when she was being wrongfully accused of poisoning Deb.
Wait,
she did it, but I don't care.
Can't zoom in anymore. That's as big as the picture gets. That's a zoom in.
Maybe.
Hello.
But that's when
the messy hairdo. I like the messy hairdo. You know how you get a messy hairdo, right?
Yeah, I know how you get a messy hairdo.
Right?
I do messy hair.
Drive with the top down.
There's her on the beach.
Hello. How you doing?
Okay.
She could use a cheeseburger.
Wait a second. This was out here.
Come on.
Like her.
So when's she coming back? When's she coming back?
Hopefully, if they make a Harrison series.
She's not. They said in the series that she died of cancer.
That's
why Harrison was on the search.
In his memory as a passenger.
Okay, what are we going to do? If we're going to do that, we're going to have to do some real necromancy stuff, and we might resurrect Rita while we're at it.
I mean, we've seen that.
Harrison's original mother.
But Harrison was too young to remember her, but he does remember Hannah.
If it was on HBO Max, they could just throw her in the Lazarus pit.
Yeah. I like the Titans reference.
Oh, Lazarus.
So anyways, thank you guys for watching. Definitely check out all of these fine people.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome.
What a
Thank you for
wonderful
putting up with
roundtable
my.
discussion.
Thank you for putting up with my Eldrich shenanigans again.
Oh, it was great. I had a wonderful time.
Yeah,
So did everybody
and
watching. So did everybody that's watching this on replay. You're welcome, people.
so everybody definitely go check them out once again. The links are in the description except for PB because how you guys
Oh,
already know
shit
PB.
balls. Yeah, except for that
He
new
was
person.
Kalach.
They don't know who the fuck I am.
Go
Like
check out our other
that new person
streams.
is what they're watching right fucking now. They got no who and no links. Like, hold on, don't let me get my own link. I'll throw it in the fucking chat here real quick before
Sorry,
you end the
PB.
goddamn stream. Jesus Christ, this fucking.
No,
Like,
I'm
yeah,
pretty sure he
everybody's in
wants to
them.
sit this one out.
There it is. There's my
Right.
link in the chat.
Ride the pine on
Says
this one.
youtube.com/popculturepb.
High ground Cantina said the ending felt like
a cheat. We would have loved to see those storylines play out. I enjoyed the show. Let's do a Dexter prequel with a de-aging wig.
Oh god, that wig.
No.
Oh my god. Oh,
You just got to
yeah.
put on that face
No.
mask like Black Widow puts
No.
on.
No.
Super young. Prequel.
So we'll leave on that. We're all fans of a prequel. Showtime,
It's called
make that
Dexter,
happen.
the way of the code. That's how he established his code to murder people.
Honey, I'm leaving
I
now.
do
Okay,
like that
I gotta
title.
go. Gotta
Holy
get
fuck.
chocolate. See you
Yeah,
guys
get her
all
some
later.
chocolate before you
know, the only
become
rule
another
here in
Bay
the
Harbor
fandom
butcher
zone
victim.
is odds having another domestic.